Hi, my name is Afiq and I am the Managing Director of the company called Afiqu Builds. Today, we'll be presenting to you our business plan. So the problem right now, where most big companies such as Dell or HP, even as smaller companies, do not provide full customizability to their computers and more dependent on the companies for warranty and also life expectancy. Not only that, they are very secretive and also not transparent when it comes to providing the names and also the quality of the hardware. And most of the companies that provide customizability have the computers already pre-built. Our company, Afiqu Builds, we are taking this a step further. We are providing transparency and also engagement between us and the customers. We take the inspiration from real estate giants such as Gamuda Land and also Eco World, whereby they're not just selling houses or real estate, but they're selling lifestyle. We also want to implement that into our business, whereby whenever we sell a computer, we're also giving them an experience. We're giving them transparency where they know what parts goes where, and also they get to learn how a computer is being built. So our solution is by implementing Gamuda Land and also any other giants who implements the lifestyle way of selling the real estate. We want to provide transparency and also engagement between us and the customers so that they get a great experience when it comes to getting their own computers. They get to know the parts that they get for the computers. They also get customizability. They can add whatever they would like to the computer and we will try our best to provide. Not only that, we will build the computer part by part in front of them, face to face, also Instagram Live or TikTok Live, any online platforms that they will be able to see. Not only that, we also provide the shortest and also most simplest way process of our services that we provide. We believe this solution can be a great business model in our business Afiqu Builds. After this, we'll bring you to our market opportunity and also our target market that this business will be facing. I'll bring you next to Firdaus. Thank you.
Okay, so now we'll be talking about the opportunity. So for the opportunity, the analysis that we used is Google Trends. And for Google Trends, what it enables us to see is the trends for the search of custom PC interest over time. So for the past 12 months, starting from December 8th, 2019, we can see there is demand and trend in searching for custom PC. And the thing that is apparent is that starting from around March, is that the demand for custom PC actually surges due to not solely because of the lockdown, but the lockdown imposed by the government actually contributes a lot to that demand. And what we can see is that the trend actually continues until the end of the year, which indicates that this interest is stable and won't actually die down for the nearest amount of time. So it actually is more than 50% throughout the year starting from March, and that is why we actually would like to take this opportunity to venture in this custom building PC venture. So for the target market of Afiqu Builds, we actually narrowed down a lot by analyzing the demographics from the Google Trends earlier, and we can see that the age of those that search for custom PCs are around 18 to 45, and this includes teenagers, young adults, and also adults. And for the majority of them are men, and these two things are actually not exclusive. So other than 18 and 45, there may be those that are interested in building custom PC, and for females that are also interested in building custom PCs. But due to the funds that we have, we actually have to narrow down to better target our market, and this is what we are doing. So for the majority of men, and moving on is the industry. The industry that we are targeting are gaming industry, video production industry, and also remote workers. So for gaming industry, this is due to esports being a growing industry in the past few years. And for the video production industry, this is because the people working there actually heavily relies on graphics intensive rendering. So this is so they actually need gigs or PCs that allows them to do that. So for remote workers, those that are starting to work from home due to the lockdown and so on, needs a working station. So for the occupation, actually we are targeting mostly students, workers, and those workers are, for example, architects and also engineers that have to render models using AutoCAD and so on. Also, we will be targeting hobbyists that creates PC in their spare time and also for fun.
Hello, my name is Faris Shazwan and I am the Communicating Corporate Director of Afiqu Builds, and I will be discussing now about the technology we use in Afiqu Builds. You see, as stated here, as what our passion suggests, by customizing computers, we can mix and match top-notch quality parts at a price below retail to create a high-performance computer. You see, the parts that we consider putting inside your build include NZXT, which is a very, very aesthetically pleasing case. Not only that, their cable management features are very good, so making upgrades in the future are very easy. So all the wires are neatly packed together and such, and they're not all over the place, which is just a huge hassle. Not only that, their airflow is pretty decent compared to others, although the price is a little bit more to the higher side, but we feel that it's a worthy and it is a good investment for the near future for your PC. Next up is the AMD CPUs that we use. You see, we opted to use AMD CPUs compared to AMD's competitors, Intel, because AMD CPUs do not have this problem in which with each generational upgrade, a new motherboard is required to accommodate for the CPU. You see, Intel has this problem, you see, and this causes it to be a huge burden when it comes to future upgrades, because with the 7th generation, the CPU socket is different to the 8th generation. So when you want to make that upgrade, you're going to have to buy a new motherboard, and it's really, really expensive, and it's a huge waste of money. So AMD doesn't have this problem. Every generation is using the exact same socket, so you're not required to buy new motherboards. Not only that, AMD CPUs are surprisingly cheaper than their counterparts. Not only that, they're also much better when it comes to multitasking and such, as well as their performance to power consumption ratio. So we opted to use AMD due to these reasons. Next up is we opted to use Cooler Master as our aftermarket coolers, because with it, compared to other companies and brands, Cooler Master is affordable, much more affordable than other companies such as Noctua. Not only that, their cooling is very good compared to for the price that they sell their air coolers for, as well as its sound. It's very quiet compared to most coolers. You see, most coolers, even though their cooling capabilities are very good, they sound like a jet engine in your PC, and we do not want that, you see. So we opted for Cooler Master, which we feel at Afiqu Builds is a good choice. And finally, we decided on using the Zotac GPUs because they are the cheapest, they are the cheapest GPUs on the market. Although they are the cheapest, that doesn't mean the performance is less. as a matter of fact, their performance is equal to the usual other companies such as Asus, EVGA, ROG. The only difference is that maybe the cooling is not as efficient, but that is barely noticeable, and that it might be a barely noticeable performance difference. But these other companies, these other brands such as EVGA, compared to Zotac, they are much more expensive, probably in the range of 700, 600, and that, in my opinion, and we in Afiqu Builds feel that it is not worth the 700, so we opted to use the Zotac GPUs to build the most affordable yet the most powerful PC that you want. Now, I will be talking about our competitors. What separates us, Afiqu Builds, from these other companies? All right. So now, these companies, these big PC building companies that you see, such as Ideal Tech, Rachun Tech, Bits and Bytes Technology, see, they have this problem in which they buy their parts in bulk, you see. And when they buy their parts in bulk, they, as new parts come and improve, with improvement of new GPUs and CPUs and such, their older stocks are going to be left, you see. And sometimes these companies will try to sell you their older parts and convince you that these are the best option for you. In some cases, actually in most cases, that's not actually true, because they are just trying to clear their stock so that they can have to accommodate for new room for the newer GPUs and CPUs to sell. This is a problem that Afiqu Builds do not have, you see, because we abide to your specifications. You give us the parts that you want with our recommendations and such. Once everything is settled, we will look for the parts for you. You see, we don't have stocks to sell to. We don't have clearance stocks to sell to you. We don't buy things in bulk. You see, we do not buy the products in bulk. So what we do, we just, once everything is settled, once we get your quotation and the specs you want, we'll go out and look for the parts for you, you see, specifically as you want it. So we might go to Laoyat to buy your parts, sometimes from multiple stores, because it's very uncommon to find all the parts in one store. But these are the great lengths we are willing to go to find the best parts for you, unlike these companies that just sell you off and try to clear the stocks as fast as possible, because that is unethical in our books. Other than that, when during the building process, usually what happens is I give these companies the specs that I want. They just build it and ship it to me, and I don't know where everything goes. You see, so, and this is a huge problem also when it comes to future upgrades, because I don't get to learn where all the parts go, and future upgrades are going to be a huge problem unless I keep referring to you. So what Afiqu Builds does is we build our PCs live. You see, we build our PCs live for you to see where every part goes and such. And not only that, we deliver to you personally at your doorstep, so that when we do arrive, if you do have any inquiries and such, on the spot, we are able to show you how to upgrade at HDD, where are the SATA cables, what coolers you should use, how often you should apply thermal paste, how to apply thermal paste sometimes and such. So not only that, it provides a sort of bond and strong connection with our customers, so that they have trust in us and they will return to us because of our very, very, very ethical business practices. Yes. So in my opinion, we are way ahead of the competition, and we are on a good path to bringing forward our company with these big companies, you see.
So now we'll be moving on to marketing and sales. So for marketing and sales, there are actually two methods that we'll be applying for our business, which are word of mouth and also social media marketing. So for word of mouth, it is actually a cost-effective method, because what it actually is that our previous clients are promoting and recommending our services to their friends, relatives, or acquaintances. So for instance, let's say our previous clients has a PC at their home, and there is a their friends or relatives that comes over and ask where did they purchase this PC. So they will be not unconsciously but not realizing that they are actually promoting our product to other people. And this, as I said earlier, this is a cost-effective method, as we don't have to spend anything on this. We actually just have to give good services, and in return it will naturally stick with the customers and make them want to promote our brand. So for social media marketing, the platforms that we'll be using are Instagram and also Facebook, and the funds that are allocated are 1,000 ringgit for the first year, and it is not equally distributed for the month. So for example, 1,000 divided by 12 is around 83 ringgit, and it won't be 83 ringgit for every month because it relies on circumstances. So for maybe December, there is more allocation towards that month for ads on social media due to it being the end of the year, and you can maybe make promotions for the 12th of December or maybe for Christmas. So that is how we will be applying our marketing.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rushaidi bin Ranying. I'm a computer engineering student, and here I would like to explain to you our organization's management team. So at the top we have Afiq as the managing director, and then we have Muhammad Firdaus as the marketing director, and then we have 3 more branches. Faris is the corporate communication director. I, Rushaidi bin Ranying, am the human resource and admin director, and finally we have Fakri as the finance director. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fakri bin Umar Hakim. I'm from COE. And I am finance director from Afiqu. And I want to talk about our current status. For right now, our current status is growing so much more. As you guys can see, from March 2020, our total revenue is 7,000, and by that, our gross profit is around 300 ringgit. Based on our finance projection, if Afiqu manage to get around 40 or 80 customers per year, by the end of the March 2023, our gross profit is around 23,030 ringgit. This is a huge potential growth for Afiqu and our financial project based on our current status. Thank you.
Alright, moving on to the next slide, which is financing sort. Afiqu Builds is interested in 2 types of funding. The first one is debentures. So our company is interested to borrow 5-year loan of 50,000 ringgit at below 5%. And another type of funding, which is soft funding, is 10-year loan of 50,000 ringgit at below 2%. Now, the reason why we are interested in this funding is to avoid our company from having key partners. So we can have stocks and we can buy in bulk so that our service price will be cheaper. Thank you.
So to summarize it all up, what we're basically trying to solve is the problem whereby most of the companies do not provide a great amount of customizability and also transparency between them and the customers. Therefore, customers aren't satisfied with what they have paid for the computers. Our solution is not only selling computers based on their budget and also their task and the needs that they have to carry out, but we're also providing a great experience for them so that we can have an engagement business with the customers whereby they'll be much loyal and also will return with good and positive feedback. And our services are simpler and much more easy for customers to understand and go through with us. We're not only tailoring computers based on customers' needs and also personalization, but we're also educating customers what type of parts and the process of building a computer. This will allow customers to appreciate more what computers are really made of. We would like to thank you, and we would like to appreciate on the investments, as our company will use it in a healthy and corresponding way to educate the customers and also create a great lifestyle. All right. Thank you.